y'all, I have tried to record this video 3 to 4 times, and each time it's not been recording. I am so tempted to like pull this camera down just to see if it's recording, but anyway. Hello everyone, welcome back to Shape It Adventures. Today we're going to be talking about skills that you should know before moving to the United States if you're going to be moving here for nursing. The last video we did was skill number 1, and that was IV insertion, and I was actually surprised to know that a lot of like Caribbean countries put in their new IVs, like their own IVs. Like I knew it for the Philippines, but not for us, I guess. Today we're going to be talking about computer charting / being like a little bit more computer savvy. I looked high and low for like a walkthrough that I could like tag down below, but any walkthrough that you like type in, at least for Epic, it might say it's a walkthrough, but it's not, at least what my computer system looks like. So I'm not tagging anything. You might find one in the corner nowhere, but I'm not tagging anything because I couldn't find anything that looks like what I see. So today we're just going to be going over basic tips and tricks and things I think you should know before moving to the US. So computer charting. This one, I think everybody is on the same wavelength with. Like it's a lot of paper charting in the Caribbean and the Philippines and Africa, wherever else that you might be moving from. I think the UK does computer charting though, and obviously like Canada does, but I know for sure back home we don't. So how would I prepare for computer charting if I knew then what I knew now? And I feel like those that are already really like into computers would find it a little bit easier to catch on to computer charting. So all computer systems are different. Let's start there. You might think, like, you might be talking to one of your other coworkers, like a coworker that moved, and he or she might be like, you're gonna hate computer charting. It is so annoying. Like, it took me forever to catch on. Like, it's so much writing. That automatically tells you that it's probably not even Epic, because Epic is so much clicking. So it's like Cerner, Epic, it's like a bunch of different like systems. Not all hospitals in the US use the same computer charting system, unfortunately, and that's why you honestly find some nurses who would only go to hospitals that use the computer charting of their previous hospital, and some nurses who just like won't even go to certain hospitals based on their computer charting system. Not all computer charting systems are created equal, unfortunately. So for today, I'm going to be talking about the only computer charting system that I know, which is Epic, but I'll hopefully give you some tips and tricks about what might help you when you move, even if you have a different computer charting system. So first things first is you have to ask. So when you do your interview, ask them like, hey, what computer system do you guys use to chart? Like, what is your electronic healthcare record system? And from there, you could do like a Google search, like how easy is it to chart with this system? Any tips or tricks you know that would help me as a new grad? It's easy to put new grad because international nurses might not talk about it, but new grads are also people that are also newly learning. Next step, get involved. Like, be a part of your education, as in ask the manager that you're interviewing and say, hey, do you guys have like any tutorials so that I can like sort of get prepped on this computer charting? I didn't think to ask. And if I knew then what I knew now, I might have asked to try to get like a little bit more familiar, because it is a lot, especially when you first start. You always miss something, and some things you cannot be missing. Okay, so it's just ask. I know I said that I looked for like walkthroughs, but sometimes you could post videos like on certain platforms, even YouTube, and make them as like unlisted. I've had a few like classes back when I was doing like school where like a teacher would upload a video to YouTube, but you only could see it if you had the link because it was like unlisted and a private video. So maybe your hospital might have like an unlisted or private video in there for you to like look through, review, read, watch, that maybe isn't available to the general public, but is available to like upcoming employees. Just some tips or tricks, or just to like show you how the computer system looks. If they don't have that, ask them if they have like screenshots. Just ask them in general if they have a guide. If they have the video, they'll probably offer the video. If they don't have the video, they might have screenshots. What I mean by screenshots, every time our electronic healthcare system gets like upgraded or like a new function is added, they screenshot everything and they email it to us. So we don't have videos, but we literally have like step by step screenshot about how your screen should look, arrows pointing to where you should be looking for what. They'll hit the drop down arrow, show you all the selections, then have a circle or a box around which you should be hitting. Then it'll show you like what should come up, what shouldn't come up, like what you should be documented on, what you should not be documented on. So stuff like that they should have, and that should help you like sort of get an idea of what it is that you're going into. If they don't have that, that's okay. It sort of sucks, but I didn't have it either and I still came through. So let's move on to tips. Those are just suggestions. These are like tips that I think would help you even if you don't have a manual or video or screenshots. The first tip is to get computer savvy and get computer savvy like yesterday. If you are not a computer person, if you weren't that person in your group that did the PowerPoints or the Word documentation editing, you need to be that person now, and you need to start looking at Word, PowerPoint, Excel. I know you're going to say, well, that's not electronic healthcare system. Why does it matter? Why? Because certain things that you could do on Word, I don't have my earring in. Certain things that you could do in Word and Excel that you actually could do at least in Epic, that saves me time. Let's use an example. If you have two patients, which I've had before, that are going to like the same facility when they're leaving, like the same nursing home facility or the same like skilled nursing facility, and you have to put in a note, or at least I like to put in a note along with my transfer of care to say, patient educated on discharge instructions. Well, you don't need it for that part because it's in a packet, but let's just say patient is educated on discharge instructions, patient left facility in care of insert hospital here, EMS, report called to this facility at this time, XYZ. So if you have like two patients that are leaving within an hour of each other, or even like within 30 minutes of each other, you could imagine writing like a note that basically says the exact same thing. Or you could copy and paste that note and send it over. Now I know what you're saying, like, oh, like I could just highlight that whole thing, right click, look for copy, go in the next thing, right click, hit paste. It's a lot of stuff that comes with that. So did you know that instead of like hitting the top and scrolling all the way down, like say you have to like highlight like a long thing, or like say you mess up on your note, and instead of you like having to write that whole thing again, like your entire note, you could just copy and paste, but it's really quick instead of having like scroll all the way down. And you know, sometimes the computer does like foolishness and you end up like messing up your scroll. What you could do is right click and hit Control A. Well, not right click, just hit the space where the words are and hit Control A. People who do Word and stuff like that, they know what I'm meaning. Control A selects everything in the box that you have highlighted automatically. Control C copies that everything. So instead of you like hitting there, going all the way down there, right clicking, scrolling for C, clicking through, right clicking, like it's literally just Control A, Control C, click the patient note, Control V, copy and paste it. 2 seconds. 2 seconds don't sound like a lot, but when you got a lot going on, 2 seconds is a lot. So that's why I say start to get like tech savvy, because when you start using like your shortcuts, at least with Epic, a lot of the shortcuts from like Excel and Word and PowerPoint, because all those like Microsoft stuff actually carry over into Epic. Another example, like if you do in Excel, if you hit like the top box in Excel and then you want to highlight everything, instead of you like having to click, 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 which sometimes people do. And like with Epic is like the clicking software. So literally you will hit like X for exceptions to defined limits if they're like charting on a patient. And if you want to hit like this. Oh, not that. Skip that. This. You'd be like click, 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 click. You don't have to do all that. You hit the first one, Click that. Then you go to the one that you want to be the last one and you hold shift and then you click it and it highlights all. Yes, it's a very short, like, yeah, it only save you maybe a minute. But when you have 6 patients to chart on, a minute for one section, and then all of those sections add up was like, save you like 5 minutes per chart. 6 patients is about 25 minutes per chart. Like 25 minutes altogether that you save, honestly. And that trick, I actually knew that because I tried it out myself, and then I told my coworkers it because I was like, "What are you doing all that clicking for?" Like one day, because I was like, "Click, click, 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 click." You literally like click, 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 and I'm like, "Why are you clicking so much?" Because like for falls, you have to like basically select everything because you have to do everything because falls like you're on like a big thing. So like I literally turned my head. I was like, "Why are you clicking so much?" And I was like, "Yeah, because you gotta click all of these." I was like, "No, click, click." Everything's highlighted. I was like, oh. It's like, yeah, Excel. So start to get tech savvy. Start to like, try to do some stuff on your own without like having to like fall into that thing. And then another thing is like with Epic, like all of the medicines come up top like that, right? Like it's like when you go to your MAR, which is where all of your medications will be, this is why like it is so important to, even if they just have like screenshots, so that you could sort of like even just Google certain terms. So like MAR is where all your medications are. Flow sheets are like everything, where your blood is, inpatient assessments, vital signs, restraint documentation. Everything is like in your flow sheets. And then you have like a separate thing for like communications where you can like print out all this stuff. It's like a bunch of tabs. That's why I said like if your work even just has like just document to explain all of that, that would even be good. So the MAR, like on top of the MAR, consider like a graph. So is it like a graph? Anyway, take the graph out. Consider like a table. So like up top here you have like a bunch of times, right? So it's like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Medications can be given, most can be given an hour before and an hour after. Some medications you have to give earlier. Like let's say you go in and your patient's blood pressure is outside of the parameters, like it's high. Instead of you giving an as needed medicine, you can just give, I tend to give my morning blood pressure medicines a little bit earlier because you're gonna have to give those anyway. So instead of you going in and having to like override each and every medicine, there's literally a way where you just hit the top. Like if those medicines, which I usually are, do it like 10, instead of you like go into lisinopril and hitting lisinopril and changing the due time to 9 so that you could give it an 8, and then you go into the hydrolysine, you changing that one to 9 so that you could give it to 8. Then you go to the next one, like amlodipine, you change that. So then you have to like click, 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 and it's not just click, click, click. It's click, click, type, click. It's a bunch of different steps for short things. So if you were in Excel, as soon as you see those numbers at the top, it starts to get you thinking because it's like, oh, this is like a column. And with columns, you could select everything once you hit the top of the column, which you can do in Epic. So you could hit the top number, like the top time, like 10 a.m., and it pops up all of your 10 a.m. medicines and all of your PRN medicines. So all you have to do is select the medicines you want to give early. From that one click, hit accept, and then it's like this thing that pops up to where you can change all of your medicines, like all of the wording at one time. One time. So instead of you doing click, do that, click, do that, click, do that. So literally just click, select all my medicines, and then you go up to the time and you change it and you put a nice little comment, blood pressure elevated, and this comment pastes for everything. Like it's literally just, as you fill it in at the top, it fills in for all of your medicines that you want to change at the same time. It saves you so much time. So like simple stuff like that like your brain will start to like connect when you start doing Epic. Control A, Control V, Control C, highlight and everything. Like it starts to give you like a little bit of perspective. That's why I say you have to get tech savvy and you have to start doing stuff for yourself. That's honestly like my biggest tip. Like get tech savvy, get using Excel. Like I know it's like, oh well, what am I looking for? certain things you could literally Google, like Excel shortcuts. It's not gonna work for everything. That's why I wouldn't say Google Excel shortcuts. Like, it's something that you have to like start to learn to do, something that you have to like start to get in the process of doing for you to really understand what it is that you're trying to do. But let's say, like, even for that control thing that I told you guys earlier, like control C to copy and control V to paste. If you want, like, if you hovered over certain things, or even if you like right click certain things, you would see what the shortcut is like in the bracket next to those things. So like, let's say you went to Word and you hovered over the slanted I, it would tell you control I, because all you have to do is highlight a word, and instead of you going back up to look for control I and tapping that, you literally just highlight what you want to highlight. Or like if you wanted to italicize your entire paragraph, you could literally just control A, control I, and it highlights everything, italicizes everything, instead of you having to go through. It's like shortcuts that make your life easier. So that's why I say try to get a little bit more tech savvy. Ask your hospital, like, hey, even if you think it's not like something that I would benefit from, if you have any screenshots about your computer system, if you have any tips about your computer system, if you have any unlisted videos, like, I'm open to those. Because sometimes like your manager and people at work don't even know what you don't know, because they grew up, well, not grew up, they grew into nursing using electronic healthcare records. Like back home, a fluid balance sheet used to hate to see me coming, because I got it wrong every single time, but it used to hate to see me coming, because I could have practiced on my fluid balance sheet, and I could have practiced on my medication record sheet, and you could practice on your physician notes, like reading them, like you had those at home. Like if you put them in your hospital home, they wouldn't know how to chart, but you would be a boss at it, right? But you put them, you go in their hospital home and you don't know two facts because you never had to do it before. But their nursing school charting is your nursing school charting. It's just they do computer and you do paper. So certain things that they don't even think that you would obviously, like certain things they think that you obviously would know, because they obviously knew, because they did that charting like in school. We didn't do that charting back home. So they'd be like, oh, she probably, like, this is just, like, I don't have nothing for them, him or her. Like, I don't have nothing for her because this is just like basics. Like, this is just the layout of flow sheets. You need to know what the layout of flow sheets is. You do. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Even finding stuff is a lot. Like, oh, she probably don't want to know, like, how to leave a comment on the vitals. Like, that's nothing. You do want to know, because you never did it before. Then ask your manager whenever you do an interview, like, hey, you know, like, I never did, don't say it like that now. But hey, like, I never computer charted, like, how y'all gonna teach me? Make it nice. Like, hey, I do have an educational deficit in computer charting. Is there any way that I could get a head start on this charting? And when I do arrive, like, in country and you start doing, what's this thing called? Orientation. Is there anything I could do? Like, is there anything that I'm going to be doing that's geared more towards just computer charting? For me, my hospital, I told my manager ahead of time, I was like, look, I don't know how to put an IV, and I don't know how to computer chart. Everything else, nursing skill-wise, I don't know till I don't know, but I know for a fact those are the two that I do not know, that are very major. And it was like, yeah, like, we'll do that during your orientation. And I was like, cool. My orientation, like, all through the, like, it was like a week orientation, like, just like orientation, like labels, logistics, paperwork, all that stuff. I was with these same like group of girls. It was only girls for this orientation lab, and it was like different like areas, like labor and delivery, the clinics, med surg, my hospital, a next hospital, urgent care, like all of the hospital systems. All our nurses were like together. But for Epic, I was alone. Like, everybody, I assume, was in a different room, but I was in our hospital's basically basement, like the ground floor, must be below ground floor. I don't know where it was, but I was in there with the teacher by myself. They were like, yeah, like, they said that you might have some problems computer charting, so we're just one-on-one. And at first I was like, y'all think it's slowy. You think I gotta keep up with it? But then I started realizing, like, when I was on the floor, that they have these positions called nurse extern at my hospital, where it's literally nursing students that come in and work and they document. Like even from nursing school, they have like a username and password and they document while they're there. Like, yeah, they document on your patient and yeah, you still have the like chart and their teacher looks over their charting, but they are like documented. So their class was probably advanced and I was a novice. And after that, I was like, okay, all right, because I don't even know how to sign in. So give me what you give me. So he taught me a lot of tips and tricks. He actually taught me about that time thing, the control stuff and the copy and paste stuff and like the shift stuff. Like I just learned that just based on what I knew from like Microsoft and Excel, and even certain little things that you just don't even realize you do. You learn that from just being tech savvy. But yeah, he taught me little tips and tricks, and I was able to ask all the questions I wanted to because it was one-on-one. So just ask like your preceptors and stuff, hey, is this an option? Do I get a class or can I get a class on just Epic? And if they say no, then you have to click go to the paddle and just learn really good from your preceptor, which I doubt they'll say no. I really doubt it. I think that's all I have for this video. Y'all don't know how much I wish when I get up from this chair. This better be recorded. If this ain't anyway. Like, comment, share, subscribe. My name is Tammy. This is Shea Butter Adventures. If you have any video ideas, let me know in the comment box below. The sun is out. The sun is shining. I'm feeling like me again. We're going to get videos, guys. Bye. Oh, thank God. It's recording.